Moon, we trusted you! Hey guys, Blood Moon Bobby here on yet another edition of the Butterfly Show that isn't taking place in front of my webcam, but instead taking place in front of my usual studio set. So I'm pretty sure this will be one of my last Star vs. Forces of Evil fan theory videos because the series ends actually tomorrow from the time I'm putting this video up. The series finale Cleve is coming out on Sunday, and ever since I did my last live discussion, and I know it's kind of weird in this video, I'm going to be talking about Moon instead of, well, how do I think the series is going to end. If you want to know my thoughts on how I think Star is going to end, I highly recommend you guys go and check out my live stream that I'll have the thumbnail here, and I'll have it in a card on this YouTube video. But so if you want to know more about how I think the show is going to end, you can go and watch that video. But for this video, I wanted to talk more about why I don't necessarily trust Moon as being the queen of Muni anymore. I mean, not that she is. I mean, currently the throne of Muni is kind of incumbent, disputed ever since Eclipsa tried giving the throne back to Moon and things didn't work out well with Mina. But I wanted to talk more about, my ideas, because I did sort of talk about why I don't think I wouldn't trust Moon anymore in my live discussion. But ever since then, I just realized how bad Moon has been in the decisions that she's made lately in the show. So here we go. I narrowed it down to 3 things in this video. So the first thing here is that you actually find out Moon is actually a snake in the grass. How much of that is on her, and how much of that is just because her memory was being cleared up from the Pie Folk episodes, I think I'll leave that up to you guys. But it is kind of clear that she's a bit of a snake in the grass because, we didn't know that she sided with Mina until, we got to the episode Here to Help. And even then, like you would think that, I think it fooled a lot of us because we were under the impression that, okay, Moon doesn't want to be in power anymore. But what I think a lot of us didn't realize is, and I'm in this boat too, so I'm absolutely not sitting on a soapbox, is that we actually thought, okay, Moon is, content with not being in power anymore. She trusts Star. She even said in an episode that, she thinks Star has grown a lot. So, we were under this impression that, okay, Moon isn't going to take over. And I think the other thing too is even in the Ghosts of Butterfly Castle episode, Moon was even trying to convince Mina, hey, come on, this whole Solarian army idea is too extreme, it's too radical, I don't recommend doing that. So with all these things prior to Here to Help, we were under the impression that, okay, Moon isn't going to be in power anymore. If anything, the one kind of blemish on her side is that she went as far as to say, well, it's Eclipsa's problem now. So you would think that, oh, she doesn't want to help Eclipsa. But it wasn't that we thought that she was siding with Mina. It was just a case of she, was like, okay, well, my position is I'm not the queen anymore, so I'm going to leave that to Eclipsa and maybe even Star's hands. I guess the other thing I have to ask is, when exactly did Moon decide, hey, I'm going to side with Mina because I really don't trust Eclipsa? And I think the other thing, too, is that what may be kind of shady is Moon actually told River that, no, I'm not going to do anything, I'm just going to leave it to Eclipsa. The shady thing there is that, she didn't reveal to River, I don't think she revealed to River at any point that she wants to get back in. So it kind of makes me think that, a lot of the stuff Moon was doing was all behind the scenes and it was all completely in her mind. I would say what got the ball rolling as far as Moon trying to take back power is probably right around the coronation episode, because if you've seen the Tavern at the End of the Multiverse, Eclipsa figures out that it was actually Moon who went to Romulus and said, okay, can you free Globgor as part of wrecking things up for Eclipsa. So I would say that's probably where it started. It may have even started as early as the ending of the Ghost of Butterfly Castle. Like, maybe at first Moon was thinking, I'll just sit back. But then she was probably thinking in her mind, but I don't know. And as we've seen from the Piefolk episodes, Moon has been gradually gaining back her memory after it was lost from being in the realm of magic. So she probably, as her memory started to come back, she became even less trusting of Eclipsa as time went on. So I definitely think part of the reason why I personally wouldn't trust Moon with position of power is because she's been a snake in the grass this entire time. How much of it was her trying to keep things purposely hidden, and how much of it was just the fact that Moon was having trouble remembering things? It's kind of hard to pinpoint, but I would say it's a mix of both. The second thing that I wanted to go here is that Moon will go to extremes even if she's aware of how bad the consequences will be. She will go to extremes to take back power. And I definitely think this is more of, a character flaw. Not character flaw in the sense that the writers did something wrong, but just in terms of one of the flaws of Moon. And I'm not really sure if we've really seen this side of Moon before. I mean, yes, she's gone to extremes in the past, but to this degree, I'm not exactly sure. But now that she was like, I'm gonna go ask Mina I'm gonna use Mina as basically a tool to get power back, even if she might go bananas. But just the fact that she would go there, even though she was fully aware of the consequences, I think is a really troubling sign that she would go to such extremes to take back power. And as I said in my live stream, this whole thing just kind of seems like a real sort of power play. Maybe I'm not thinking about it as much as when I said in the live stream, because I said in the live stream it's almost like a military coup in the sense, where somebody tries to raise an army to kick the current ruler out so they can have a stab at taking back power. Now I'm kind of thinking maybe it's just in terms of, instead of thinking about it now I'm just thinking about it in terms of the main reason Moon wanted to kick Eclipsa out of power was because she didn't trust her, and she even brought up that she was part of the reason she got thrown into the realm of magic, and that was why Moon had that black eye. So I would say it was I guess you could still call it a coup attempt, but a coup attempt more out of paranoia. Wow, I'm having so much trouble on pronouncing that word, and I'm a paranoid person myself. But I would say it was definitely out of a sense of paranoia. Not a justifiable reason by any means, but I would say that cuts to the root of the problem with Moon's attempt to try to take back the throne. And speaking of Eclipsa, now I would say probably the thing that hurts Moon the most when it comes to her little power play is just the fact that who does she really have on her side anymore? I mean, yes, Eclipsa is trying to warm up things between herself and Moon. They were trying to play that billiards game in the tavern at the end of the multiverse, but I'm not really sure if she'd be down with giving the throne back to Moon. Maybe just in terms of, because Moon said, hey, I'll call things off with Mina if you give back the throne. But as we've seen, Mina isn't gonna, call things off. She wants to, get rid of Eclipsa and Globgor, which kind of cuts back to the problem that I brought up in point number 2. But in terms of who exactly trusts her, that's, really hard to say. Star is super angry at Moon, and I definitely don't think, I think what's going to happen is, I think Star will eventually forgive Moon, because Moon is a, sympathetic character. She's a very complex character who, I wouldn't call her a bad person at heart, but she goes to extremes at times and, sometimes doesn't know what's good for her or her kingdom. So I think Star will eventually forgive Moon, but she's definitely not going to trust her with a position of power. And she doesn't have the trust of Mina, because Mina was hoping that Moon will go along and help her with, getting rid of Globgor and Eclipsa. And because Moon brought, Mina along and decided to, go along with this, now now the characters continue to be in the shithole that they are in. So I think that's probably the side that hurts Moon the most, is that as of right now, she's at best on very shaky terms with the characters that, she's very closest with. Star is really angry at her. Mina finds out that Mina discovers that Moon doesn't really want to go through with her plans, and Eclipsa, I think, is trying to get on better terms with Moon, but I'm not really sure if she would trust her with being queen all over again. And I don't think that's where the show is going to be left on. I'm not saying I want Moon to end up in jail or some really bad things to happen, and I'm not really sure or if we're going to see something like Moon and River go to divorce court or something like that. But I'm just saying I personally wouldn't trust her with a position of power given the events of the most recent episodes. But we'll find out where this goes when Star vs. the Forces of Evil ends on Sunday. Maybe what will happen is it does seem like Moon is getting on better terms with Star. She even points out that she thinks Star has grown as a person. And even though she did, invite, Mina to come in to try to overthrow Eclipsa, she has shown signs that she is sort of starting to trust monsters. I do think maybe part of the reason why she doesn't trust Eclipsa is because after Eclipsa became the queen, the humans have been displaced from their homes if they were living on monster territory, so now they're living in the Yurt village. But I personally think that Star will eventually forgive Moon. I don't think Moon is going to be thrown in jail or something like that. I think, if anything, Mina is going to be the one that's defeated at the end of the series. But yeah, so I'm not predicting a really terrible ending for Moon per se, but I don't think, especially Star, is going to trust her with a position of power again. But let me know your thoughts on this sort of theory. I think this is more of a video where I give my reasons as to why I don't really trust Moon anymore. I don't think she's a bad character per se, but I'm not really sure if she should be given a position of power again. So leave all your thoughts down below. What do you think is going to happen? What do you think Moon is going to do in the finale? Do you think that she and River will maintain a flawed but still healthy relationship? Leave all those thoughts down below. This has been Blood Moon Bobby, and thank you guys for watching. Hey guys, thanks for watching this episode of The Butterfly Show. Please subscribe to the Blood Moon Bobby YouTube channel. Remember to hit the bell to be notified about our latest videos. Give this video a like if you enjoyed it, share it, and follow Blood Moon Bobby on social media to hear the latest about our thoughts on Star vs. the Forces of Evil. See you next time.